Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me once again. Now, as always, there's 3 things that you guys can do to help this channel grow. That is like, subscribe, and most importantly, please share the content. Donations can be made at paypal.me/MorlogMorningDigest. Today, politically, us as Americans have a lot to be looking forward to. If you're interested in the run-up to the National Convention for the Democrats, we have New Hampshire holding their primaries today, and anybody that was paying attention to Iowa last week will realize that far more hinges on New Hampshire than normal. Now, anybody that wasn't paying attention, basically, the entire caucus in Iowa went to hell for the Democrats. More or less, there was an error with the reporting from their application, blah, 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 blah. They ended up having to push the results of the caucus out a day, and Buttigieg narrowly won out over Bernie Sanders. According to my sources and what I've been reading is, the Democrats more than likely rigged the caucuses against Bernie Sanders. They have a record of doing this. They did this to him in 2016 as well. So I would not put that past them. We're not going to get into that today. It's really not all that important. What we need to take away from that is the Democrats are not going to let Bernie Sanders sit as their nominee. And I've been saying this for a long time. You're going to see a dark horse candidate come out of nowhere. And in my opinion, that's exactly what Buttigieg is. Even though he has been running for president this entire time that they've been campaigning, nobody saw him as a viable candidate. Now, according to articles that I've been reading today, he actually has a chance of beating Bernie Sanders in New Hampshire, which nobody thought was possible. I encourage anybody that lives in New Hampshire that's taking part in the primaries today or is registered to vote to go out and actually take part in the primaries, pull the Democratic ballot, and vote for Buttigieg, because you know that they are not going to let Bernie Sanders be your nominee. So the best thing you can do, in my opinion, and I probably shouldn't even be giving you this advice, but the best thing that you can do is ensure that Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren don't have a chance of becoming your nominee, because they do not stand a chance in beating Donald Trump. Now, I'm pretty sure that Buttigieg has no chance in hell either. However, he is the most likely not to lose to Donald Trump. So, what we have to be looking for here is A, does Bernie Sanders win New Hampshire like he should? Because to all accounts, he should win New Hampshire no problem. If, for some reason, Buttigieg does end up winning New Hampshire, it sets up a very interesting race henceforth. Now, what we have to realize on top of all of this is we have somebody playing some very dirty politics right now, and that is Bloomberg himself. Anybody that's been watching YouTube can attest to this. There's been Bloomberg ads absolutely everywhere. If you look at the spending that's been done nationwide, Bloomberg is outspending all other Democratic candidates combined. Which means, even though he's not winning these primaries, even though he's not performing very well, you have to realize he's still gaining support in these smaller states because he's investing so much damn money. And not only that, he's investing money in states that traditionally you do not campaign in during the primary season. He's not doing this because he wants to become president. He knows that he will never become the nominee. That's not going to happen. What he's doing is he's setting himself up to be the kingmaker at the Democratic National Convention. What I think you're going to see happen is, regardless of what goes down in these primaries, I think we may very well see a brokered Democratic National Convention. And what that would mean is all the delegates would have people representing their districts all gather into the National Convention for the Democrats, and basically you'd see a multi-day process of these candidates making promises, quid pro quos, left and right, back and forth, in order to secure delegates. And what Mike Bloomberg could very well do at that point is start throwing his weight around because of how much money he's donated and how much that will influence the person that will end up running for president. With Mike Bloomberg injecting all that money, basically what he does is he gives himself the most seats at the table for deciding where those delegates are going to go. In turn, picking who that candidate's going to be. And what I think we're going to see happen at this point is, you're not going to see anybody who's been campaigning for the Democrats actually be pulled as the nominee. You're going to see a dark horse candidate handpicked by the DNC to come in and be brokered as the nominee. And anybody that's watched House of Cards, that show is a great example of how this is done. You know, Frank Underwood more or less used the same exact process to make himself nominee for president of the United States, with his wife running as his VP. And this is what Mike Bloomberg is doing in real life right now. All you have to do is open your eyes and you'll be able to see it. Moving forward from this, you will see the DNC become even more divided than they already are. We have AOC threatening to primary Schiff, which is going to be absolutely insane if that happens. Yes, Adam Schiff, I believe. It's either Schiff or Nadler, one of the two. If AOC decides to primary one of those two, you're going to see a civil war within the DNC. And what I'm telling you right now is, I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, etc., etc. Like, I'm assuming you have your reasons for believing what you believe. But man, you got to realize you're playing in a corrupt system right now. And if you are supporting a Democrat, you might want to reconsider where your allegiances lie, because chances are your candidate is nothing more than a puppet right now. And that's very, very scary to see moving forward, because as much as they're accusing Donald Trump of colluding with Russian oligarchs, you have an American oligarch right now determining who the nominee for the Democratic Party is going to be, and his name's Mike Bloomberg. Consider that for a moment, my friends. Pay attention to what happens today, and I'll talk to you tomorrow about the results. Have a good day.